Hi, my name is Bohdan, and today we are going to speak about the Gothic element in Wuthering Heights, written by Emily Bronte. Since the publication of the first Gothic novel, The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole, in 1764, the term Gothic novel has been applied to a specific type of novel which is linked with the Romantic literature, comprising specific features which have been represented in it ever since. These features include the supernatural occurrences, mysterious settings, the use of violence, and the presence of the villain hero. The early Gothic novels comprise the works of Horace Walpole, Anne Radcliffe, M.G. Lewis, and Father On. The latter writings, including Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights or Herman Melville's Moby Dick, slightly differentiate from their literary parents in their choice of settings, which do not follow the earlier Gothic conventions in placing the stories to ancient castles, but tend to use some quite ordinary places, such as isolated houses or nature. Moreover, they include the notion of the villain hero, who embodies the moral ambiguity of the character, while the early Gothic novels clearly distinguish which character is good and which is evil. Wuthering Heights has just about all the elements of a Gothic novel, but the characters are a lot more complex than average Gothic protagonists or antagonists. Heathcliff's motivations and responses go way beyond the flat character of the average Gothic villain. Catherine is far from the vulnerable, threatened maiden in need of rescue. Still, Wuthering Heights has plenty of spooky Gothic features like imprisonment, dark stairways, stormy weather, nightmares, extreme landscapes, melancholy figures, moonlight, candles, tortures, excessive cruelty, a supernatural presence, madness, maniacal behavior, communication between the living and the dead, and so on. In the Gothic tradition, Bronte features tyrannical fathers and a troubled family line. In this case, the threat comes from Heathcliff, the outsider, who causes damage by usurping the family line and taking all of its property. As has been mentioned before, the Gothic novel possesses several significant features. One of these features is represented by the occurrence of the villain hero, a morally ambiguous character whose actions suggest his evil nature, but at the same time indicate his fractional morality. Also, the villain hero is regarded to be the most significant character whom the actions derive from, and who consequently drives the story forward. In Wuthering Heights, the villain hero is exhibited by Heathcliff, a stranger who arrives as a small boy and dies there as an adult man, and whose character is linked with mystery principally connected to his questionable origin, which is only unsatisfactorily explained in the novel. Heathcliff makes another appearance in Wuthering Heights after vanishing someplace unknown for several years. Both these events remain mysteries, yet cause changes that influence the whole story. Heathcliff's initial arrival alters the life of the Earnshaw family, and his reappearance influences the lives of the characters rapidly and supplies the story with several turnabouts, for he transforms into a true villain, driven by a powerful lust for revenge. This happens as a consequence of the unfulfilled love towards his childhood companion Catherine Earnshaw, who decides to marry another man, Edgar Linton, which forces Heathcliff to leave the story for some time and later return to it as an evil. Heathcliff appears in the story as well as in the lives of the inhabitants of Wuthering Heights in a rather questionable way, which might already evoke doubts over the nature of his character and pose a mystery in his persona from the beginning of the story. He is brought to the lonely house in the moors by Mr. Earnshaw from his journey to Liverpool, where he had gone with an unknown and unexplained purpose. The fashion of Heathcliff's appearance at the Heights might seem to be the obvious way to introduce a strange child whose origin is unknown and mysterious, and who may be gypsy or prince, animal or devil. As far as the dwelling, of Wuthering Heights is concerned, one family inhabited it for 300 years, and for this reason the appearance of a stranger might present a large significance to the lives of the people dwelling there. Heathcliff can therefore be considered an outsider in an area not at all accustomed to strangers. As a result, the other characters create different versions of his origin, with Nellie imagining that his father was Emperor of China and his mother an Indian queen. In fact, that his appearance makes him the most powerful character of Wuthering Heights, for he gains power both physical and psychical, and as the true villain hero is consequently not afraid to cross the borders of morality in accomplishing his aim. The notion of weather in Wuthering Heights is also very important, but also the storm, fog, they also represent this mysterious, gloomy feeling that has so much to do with the Gothic novel as a whole. That's all for now. Leave your comments and subscribe.